Game Week 17 team selection with all my 5 free transfers given to us from the AFCON being used. I am back to my one free transfer that we get every game week. So we're going to take a look at the possible transfer I have in store going into this game week. A couple of benching decisions, looking like I'm going to most likely activate my bench boost this week. So just a couple of benching dilemmas. Also take a look at possible captain options if we're looking at captaining anyone outside of Haaland this week. Also some transfer targets, that we can look at for game weeks that are coming just after game week 17. You have the likes of Ekitike with some good fixtures and the Manchester United fixture in game week 19 that looks really, really good. So we're going to talk about all this as well as how my season is going so far in this video. Welcome back everyone, FPL.CARNAGE here. So we're going to take a look at how my team did in game week 16 as usual, and then we'll take a look at what my team is shaping up going into game week 17, couple of transfer targets and captaincy options. In game week 16, my team scored 84 points. A really great massive haul from my midfielders in that game week. I was really pleased with the decision to bring in Harry Wilson on the minors. It really paid off in that game against Burnley because he returned his biggest haul so far in FPL, and I was one of the managers that benefited. So really big ups to other managers who took the tip to bring in Wilson in that game in game week 16. In my defense, I had Raya. I had a double Arsenal defense with Raya and Timber. Really disappointing to see them concede in that game against Wolves. They seem to have lost some sort of stability in that game defensively, which was really sad to see. They didn't dominate the game like we expected them to, and they were a bit clumsy and saw them concede in that game. So both Arsenal defense just returned 2 points. I had Luke Shaw, who also returned 0 points. Honestly, I could tag him as my worst transfer in so far this season. I haven't benefited any point return from him. Senesi, who managed to pick up DEFCONs, but it was a 4-4 goal thriller in that game against Manchester United. He also picked up a yellow card and just returned the 1 point. But like I said, my midfield did come through with massive holes because I also had Phil Foden in my midfield, getting his 4th double-figure haul in a row, returning 11 points in that game against Crystal Palace. I was really pleased with his return, and I've been pleased with having Phil Foden right from my free hit draft up until now. Saka, who was my captain, got the 2 assists and 3 bonus points in that game against Wolves to return 22 points. It was really risky. It could have gone really badly if he didn't get one of those assists given, seeing that Haaland returned a brace and 3 bonus points against Crystal Palace. I didn't honestly see that one coming, but kudos to managers that stuck with Haaland as their captain. He was my vice captain, and then I had Bruno Fernandes, who got a goal and an assist against Bournemouth, picked up some couple of bonus points as well. He has been really good for Manchester United. I think that's back-to-back double-figure hauls, about 31 points in 2 games. So terrific run from him. Minte returning just 2 points in the game against Liverpool. I honestly expected more from Brighton in that game against Liverpool. I honestly didn't see Liverpool coming away from that game with a clean sheet, but Minte returning just the 2 points. Wilson, like I said earlier, with a monster haul, 2 assists and a goal, picking up all 3 bonus points as well in the game against Burnley to return 16 points. And up top, another disappointing performance from Igor Thiago in that game against Leeds. Didn't really look much. I think had just 1 shot on target in that game, and also he missed out the game midweek against Manchester City due to a knock. So that's yet to be seen if he's going to be available for the game in game week 17. But he returned just the 2 points. On my bench, I had Dubravka with 1 point. Krupi came off the bench to get a goal against Manchester United, so he returned 5 points. Goodmanson with 2 points, and Munoz, who was out injured for the game against Manchester City, so he returned just the 0 points on my bench. So yeah, 84 points. Like I said, I was on a -4. I took that point hit to bring in Wilson, so total score of 80. A really nice green arrow again. I think that makes it 3 green arrows in a row. So the season is looking like it's beginning to come good. and hopefully we can continue to build on that going into game week 17. So let's just take a look at what my team is looking like in game week 17. I'm going again with the double Arsenal defense against Everton away from home. Now I feel just a little bit more comfortable with this double Arsenal defense because Everton have lost a lot of their firepower in the likes of Ndiaye to AFCON. Kevin Dewsbury Hall, yeah, is out due to injury. Grealish is not going to be available for that game against Arsenal as well. So it just limits, kind of limits their attacking firepower for that game. And with the likes of Saliba back in the side, Timber, Calafiori also back from suspension in this game, I think they're going to put up a good game, possibly get a clean sheet if possible. So I'm going to go with that double Arsenal defense again. My second defender is going to be Senesi at home to Burnley. It was a 50-50 call if he was going to be in contention for the Manchester United game, but he did make it. So he's going to be my second defender in defense. Hopefully, Bournemouth come away from this game with a clean sheet. He picks up DEFCON points as well. And returns a couple of points for me in defense. My third defender is Nico O'Reilly, who has been under the radar as one of the best defenders currently in the game for expected goals and assists. He's hosting West Ham this weekend, and I think he will be able to get something. City have kept 3 clean sheets in their last 6 games in all competitions. They've kept back-to-back clean sheets as well. O'Reilly, gets to pick up a couple of assists. He has such brilliant link-up play with Haaland. Yes, Doku is injured, but we just know that his minutes are going to be nailed for the foreseeable future with Aït-Nouri away at AFCON as well. So he just seems like a really reliable pick at the moment in defense. So he was my one transfer in so far ahead of game week 17. I sold Munoz, who is out injured, and brought in O'Reilly in my defense. So moving on to my midfield, I have Phil Foden at home to West Ham. Foden has a brilliant record at home so far this season. Like I said, he has returned 4 double-figure hauls back-to-back. He is honestly a really strong contender for the armband for me going into this game week. I think he continues his run of form. He did get a rest ahead of the Brentford game, but he got substituted on and then got substituted off before the end of the game. So I think he's still, going to be sharp for that West Ham game. I think he should pick up some points in this game. Saka, Bruno Fernandes, Minte, and Wilson are all my, the remaining 4 midfielders. I am playing the 3-5-2 formation. Saka away at Everton. I don't really know what to expect from him attacking wise in this game. Everton, I expect me play a low block in this game, just to try and sit deep and hit on the counter, get what they can. But Saka should be able to exploit those spaces. He's on set pieces, he's on penalty duties as well, so hopefully he can pick up a couple of points, possibly DEFCON points as well. Bruno Fernandes, my third midfielder, he has a good record against Aston Villa. I do not see this one as a game Manchester United can come away with a win, but with the likes of Mbeumo and Ahmad away at AFCON, we may see Bruno pushed further up the field and Menu given a starting role alongside Ugarte because Casemiro is suspended for that game after picking up a yellow card. So I think we may see Bruno in a more advanced role, which is good for managers that have him. So yeah, I think he should be able to get a couple of point returns against Aston Villa, possibly pick up DEFCON points as well. Minte is hosting Sunderland. Hopefully we can get some attacking returns from him. Sunderland haven't been an easy team to break down. They won the Tyne-Wear Derby against Newcastle over the weekend, so they've been on really good form. They sit in the top half of the Premier League table, still yet to lose a game at home, so it's going to be a difficult game for Brighton, but I expect them to come away with a win, and I think Minte should get something out of this game. Their first choice left back, Reinildo, I think he's not available for this game because he's away at AFCON as well. So I think Minte should be good for this game. Wilson at home to Nottingham Forest. He started the midweek game against Newcastle, but I think he was subbed off. So hopefully he's fresh and readily available for the starting lineup against Nottingham Forest, who are on good form as well. They beat Tottenham 3-0 over the weekend. A couple of players from there are going to leave for AFCON as well. So we may see an end-to-end game from this fixture. Hopefully Wilson can continue the good run of form. He has returned in his last 4 games, and I think he's currently top 3 for most transferred in players this week. So I do expect a couple of returns from him. Up top, I have Erling Haaland, who is my current captain at home to West Ham. He has just a really terrific record against them, be it at home, be it away. He scored a brace in his first game against them coming to the Premier League, and he has gone on to score a lot more goals against them so far. So he is a really good option, if not the best option really this week for captaincy. But it's just been disappointing to see his previous home games where he hasn't returned anything, the likes of Leeds and Sunderland where he didn't get anything. So it just makes me skeptical, right? But my armband remains on him until I'm able to decide if I want to take the risk and go against him again for the second week in a row. It seems like he may have a really, I don't know. I don't know that I want to go against him against West Ham, who are really poor defensively at the moment. I think I'm going to stick with him at the moment as my captain. My second forward is Thiago, who we heard from the pressers that he currently has a knock and may or may not be available in the starting lineup. But hoping that he trains and gets called up to the squad and starts the game against Wolves. Hoping for some point returns from him finally. On my bench, Dubravka away at Bournemouth, Krupi Jr. at home to Burnley, Goodmanson at home to Crystal Palace, and I have Luke Shaw away at Aston Villa. That's another one I'm honestly looking at moving on. Taking back-to-back -4s, it's not really ideal, but I just know that Manchester United are going to concede in this game, possibly 2-3 goals. They've conceded 5 in their last 2, and I just don't see them keeping a clean sheet against Aston Villa away from home either. So I may just go towards a Brentford defensive assets, a Bournemouth defensive assets just to target this week, or I could go for Crystal Palace defender like Guehi or Richards, just long term. And like I said, I'm looking to activate my bench boost this week, so I am tilting more towards the Crystal Palace defensive asset, someone like Guehi. I have 0.8 in my bank, which would enable me to go directly from Luke Shaw to Guehi at the moment. And it's not a bad move in my opinion. Guehi is good for DEFCONs. He is one of the highest scoring defenders currently in the game. He gets goal involvements every now and then. And it's a really decent game against Leeds as well. So it really could have a really high upside. My only worry is just the Thiago, who is currently flagged. And if I did have a free transfer at the moment, I could have possibly done Saka to the likes of Rice and, or actually I could have done Saka to the likes of Semenyo or Tavernier, who I think is a really great punt this week. I think he got a goal and an assist in that game against Manchester United. I think he's a really decent punt going into this game. But yeah, I don't know that I am very comfortable going into this game week without a Bournemouth attacking asset. But hopefully they don't do too much damage in that game and they manage to actually keep a clean sheet, so I benefit from having Senesi in my defense. But yeah, I am strongly tilting towards activating my bench boost this week with the players I have currently, because I don't really fancy bench boosting game week 18 or in game week 19 at the moment. But yeah, for future transfer targets, I am at the moment looking at how I'm going to get Ekitike. I may probably move on from Saka to the likes of Declan Rice and upgrade Thiago to Ekitike, so that I can free up space, right, to also get the likes of Cunha for that game against Wolves in game week 19. Right, so it's actually not so bad. I think Man City plays Sunderland away from home in game week 19. I currently have 3 Arsenal, Manchester City assets. I could hold off till game week 19 and use my bench boost then. It just depends on what my team structure looks like and the transfers I'm able to bring in before then. So yeah, I like the way my team looks now. I was already convinced on going bench boosting game week 17 anyway, so I may as well stick with it and then just focus on the transfer targets ahead of game week 19. So yeah, my captain is on Erling Haaland, my vice captain is on Phil Foden. Um, do I want to change it? Yes. Will I? It's yet to be seen because honestly, I just don't know that he's going to continue that run of blanks at home. This may be the game where he probably even gets his first hat trick of the season, and I wouldn't want to miss out on that. So I'm going to play it safe with Haaland captaincy, Foden vice captain. My bench boost is active, and yeah, this is what my team looks like going into game week 17. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section. I'll get back to them as soon as I can. If you're new around here, the aim is 1,000 views, 1,000 subscribers before Christmas, and I will see you guys in the next FPL video.